Everything I showed in this video is still in development, and it might change in the future. This is the plane I used for the inav vtol project, and I have set it. It has 3 states: the fixed wing state, and the transition state, and the multi-rotor state. In the fixed wing state, it will use the fixed wing PID and navigation controller. In transition mode and in the multi-rotor mode, it will use the multi-rotor PID controller and the multi-rotor navigation controller. I use a switch on my radio to manually switch between these 3 states, or 3 modes. Upon switching, the mixer profile and the PID and navigation controller will also switch. Here I will arm the plane in the fixed wing state. I have enabled the motor stop feature, so the motor won't spin up until I raise the throttle. And I have moved the plane to see the yaw servo is not moving. Here I will switch my plane into the multi-rotor mode. Airplane mode and the multi-rotor mode. The throttle is at low position. And here I will confirm the yaw servo is moving, so the plane is in the multi-rotor PID controller mode. Arm and take off in the multi-rotor state. Here I have switched to the transition mode and the fixed wing. I have tried to show the switch status on the OSD on lower right, the vtol title there, but it didn't work. Here I have switched from the fixed wing to the multi-rotor. I think there are some room for improvement on the PID controller tune. I also tried the navigation mode. Here I have enabled the position hold mode and the return to home mode, and the position hold mode again. The vertical thrust on this plane is a kind of low compared with the traditional multi-rotor, and you can see here the motor is maxed out but it's still losing its altitude. I recommend to use a lighter weight battery for improved authority on multi-rotor. It's holding its altitude and the position very well. A compass is installed on this model to enable navigation mode on multi-rotor. On this build, when navigation mode is enabled by user, the switching is blocked. So I will use the angle mode. Here I have switched to the transition mode again and the fixed wing mode. You can see the wind estimator is updating as soon as it enters the fixed wing mode. Here I have flipped the return to home switch to test the navigation mode on fixed wing state or fixed wing mode. I have confirmed that the navigation mode is working, but I didn't try the failsafe, so I don't know what things to expect when the plane failsafes. Honestly, I'm still thinking about what to do when it failsafes. If you want to try this and join the development, I suggest you to try this somewhere very safe, not over the rivers. And I have switched to the transition mode here and tried to fly it on the transition mode. The model here is using multi-rotor pit controller, and you can see it's moving forward without tilting forward. The model have a vertical stabilizer installed, or the tailwind, the vertical tailwind, so it's hard to move the yaw axis when there is some airspeed. I didn't enable differential thrust on yaw axis. From some point around here, I have disabled the transition state and switched it to the multi-rotor state. I recommend to use the angle mode to fly it in the multi-rotor. It's hard to fly compared with a traditional one. By the way, there is an Atom RC Penguin on the ground, and I found it really easy to launch, and the efficiency is not bad. The model switched into the fixed wing mode again here, and there are some nosedive on the entering of the fixed wing mode. Maybe I need to investigate this problem. Maybe it's just caused by the improper board pitch trim. That's all for the demonstration of inav vtol feature, or the mixer profile switching feature. I will update the document on the GitHub to show the steps of how to test the vtol in inav. I mean to test the development build. I welcome ideas and feedbacks, but it doesn't mean it will happen. The inav is a complicated project, so it's a kind of difficult to implement every new ideas, while keeping other parts working. By the way, it should also support the quad plane configuration. The core idea here is to switch between different mixer profiles. Mixer profile means that the servo rules and the motor mixer, and also the platform type. In theory, it should also support something like flying car, a car mixed with a quadcopter. Thank you very much for watching. Let's make inav greater and greater.